Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I have had a really good idea. I don't take credit for it, I'm sure it's been thought of by other people before, but I really wanted to make myself a shave horse. Now at the moment where I am, I haven't got the space for it. I don't really want to go out and buy any timber, and I don't have anything large enough to utilise out of my sort of stock of carving wood. However, I did have this, which was a little cheap and cheerful sawhorse. I bought it from a DIY shop for I think less than £5. It was on some kind of sale, and it's just a piece of timber with two fold-up legs. Now, to give it a bit of stability, I've put it across my carving stump. That just gives it sort of wedged in a little bit. But really, what I wanted to show you today was what I think is a really simple, and again, I cannot be the first person that's thought of this, but a really simple idea based off of the way kind of a shave horse works in order to sort of clamp down my work. Now obviously I don't have a vise that I use for my woodworking. I have a metal vise over there that I use occasionally, but I don't have a carpenter's vise. And really all I've done, and I'll put some images up on this side of the screen, just showing you what I've done. But essentially I've put two holes with a drill on the far end down here. Again, really simple to do. They're spaced about 2 inches apart. That should cover me for kind of most sort of small carvings, you know, things like this piece of wood and what have you. And after making those holes, I threaded through a length of paracord. Now paracord, I mean, I have it in abundance. It's cheap and cheerful. If it breaks or frays, I can put another piece in there. And what I've done is I've tied it quite close to the ground, just to kind of, you know, get everything sort of stuck together. And then I've taken essentially this little piece of timber and I've put it on top of the knot to form a pedal. Now what that will allow me to do, and I'll give you a demo of this in a second of how it works, but what it allows me to do is to use my foot to put pressure onto that piece of board. That transfers that pressure onto this piece of paracord and pulls it down. By doing that, it locks this piece of timber in place, and I can use either my push knife or a draw knife, or, you know, any kind of bladed tool really, to just kind of shape it down. And I think, you know, really I'm looking at this as really a bodged version or a poor man's shave horse. For my workshop, it's going to work really well because I can take this away, fold it back up, stick it in the corner where it usually lives when I'm not using it, and it's not a great big sawhorse that's going to get in the way. You know, you could probably do the same with a desk or a bench. You just put a couple of holes in it, run it down to the floor, put some kind of pedal on there, and away you go. You know, as you can probably tell, you know, I'm quite excited by this. It was just something that sort of came to me in a flash of inspiration while I was working today, trying to find a way of getting this sort of locked down without having to put screws in it and that kind of thing. And I think it's going to work quite well. So I'm going to move the camera around a bit and I'll just give you a very quick demo of how this is going to work. So we've got a little piece of timber here, guys. I'm just going to lift up this piece of paracord, slot it in, let it come back down, just kind of tidy up where this little pedal is, and all I'm going to do is just rest my foot on it, apply a little bit of downwards pressure, and, you know, there's a little bit of movement, and I can adjust that by kind of, you know, putting your foot a bit higher up and really pushing down on it. Now obviously my knee is relatively close to this, but if I'm cutting towards myself, it's not going to necessarily hit me unless I'm angled really far down. And, you know, I can move my knee out the way a little bit. I can play around with my seating position. I'm slightly offset here so you can see me on the camera. But essentially, you know, what this does is it allows me to push downwards and just kind of use this, well actually it's a push knife, but I'm using it as a draw knife for this, and it just lets me kind of carve away. You know, if I want to change the angle, I just release the pressure of my foot a bit, turn this round, push down again, and away you go. Now this, I think, you know, I can see this as being really good for things like tool handles, spoons, especially if I'm sort of flattening them down, you know, just doing sort of the rough carving work first of all. And you know, there is a bit of movement in this, and there's always going to be with something like this, because it's not solidly locked in place. You know, I'm just essentially using the friction and the pressure on the string. But you know, it's certainly enough to keep this held in for my purposes, and actually the bench itself is sort of moving more than this piece of wood is. So you know, hopefully you can see just how simple and easy that was to make. Sorry about the quick cut there, guys, I got disturbed by someone around the corner. But as I was saying, you know, hopefully you can see just how quick and simple this was to make. You know, if you have a carving stump like this and you don't have one of these, or don't want to lay out any money, you know, you could screw a plank into this and do exactly the same thing. You can do it on a workbench. And I think, you know, as a kind of how do I put this, as sort of an improvised vice, if you like. You know, this would probably even work out in the field. You know, if you had a way of making holes, or you took something with you that you had already put holes in and could brace against a log or something. You know, I think this is going to be a really, really useful addition to my carving arsenal, and you know, hopefully something you guys can make use of too. So I hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.